guys, Kissy Bug here. So today I want to talk about breaking the cycle, how to put an end to child abuse. I was hoping to have this out a couple of days ago. I apologize for it being late. Been very busy with life and work. But anyways, I wanted to touch on the topic of child abuse and how to break the cycle. So let's dive into it. As someone who is a survivor of child abuse as a child, I know it can be very hard to break the cycle. The effects of what you went through stays with you even after it's over and you are no longer being abused. However, you could break the cycle if you want to. One thing we know for sure is that abuse is known to repeat itself generation after generation. Did you know that children of parents with an addiction are at a high risk of all forms of abuse and are likely to develop addictions of their own? Now, when we look at the Mastermind's family, we have seen food addiction and drug addictions. And we know from the children of the old man that he had an addiction to alcohol and pills. So it is no surprise that his children have had addictions themselves. However, if they wanted to, they could put the brakes on ever abusing another person in the ways they were abused. I've always maintained and stated that they need professional help. Of course, not meaning in a mean-spirited way, but as someone who's been through it all. I know that the first step to healing and getting on with your own life begins with seeing a therapist. You can't heal if you don't get help. Instead, history will repeat itself over and over. As I already said, abuse is known to repeat generation after generation. Getting help is one of the most important things you could do for yourself. Don't ever be ashamed or give any care to what other people think about it. Taking care of yourself is essential to overcoming all the traumas of your childhood. Also, by taking that step, ensures that you will be a better parent to your children, make wiser choices and decisions that will keep you and your children safe. But the most important thing will be releasing all the emotional baggage that you have carried around for all those years. Getting rid of the baggage, it will make you less prone to stress attacks, anger issues, and from developing any addictions. Setting up boundaries. Yes, boundaries. Boundaries are very essential to your own emotional well-being. Boundaries are crucial to be set and set within your own personal limits. Boundaries define what kinds of behavior is acceptable and what isn't. Boundaries that you set for yourself and your children are very important. Why? Because they ensure you will not abuse your children as you were abused. Boundaries are important for many reasons when it comes to your children, such as keeping your child safe from injury, neglect, exposure to non-medicinal drug use, and sexual contact. Now, what leads a parent to abuse children? One of the things is that parents believe that they have a very close bond or relationship with their child. Therefore, the parent will depend on the child for things that they should be taking care of themselves or having their needs met from another adult. The parents should be interacting with adults their own age. Children are not capable of understanding how adult problems or responsibilities work. Although children need to learn to care for others, they should not be used to meet their parents' emotional needs. Doing so puts a burden on the child that they are not ready for. Another situation is parents who remarry that have children and a step-parent decides they don't like the children because they are jealous of the ex-spouse, and they project the jealousy and anger onto the new stepchild. Thus, they begin to resent the child and abuse the child, even though the child is way too young to understand why the step-parent doesn't like them. I know this situation very well, as I lived it. I have no idea why my stepmother was so jealous of my mom or what it had to do with me. Even to this very day as an adult, I can't understand it. What's worse is when the biological parent does nothing to stop the abuse or try to figure out what's going on and decides to side with the new spouse. That is the worst thing and the worst feeling ever. Children don't understand this, and no child deserves to be punished and abused because the adult can't get their feelings together about their new spouse's past relationships. Research on child abuse is clear. Children know about their bodies and how they work, and who know the proper names for the parts of the body rather than made up or childish names for parts of the body are less likely to be sexually abused. People who are sexually abused as children may not know how to nurture the child in healthy ways, so may either use inappropriate nurturing or may avoid nurturing your child altogether. So what are the best ways to nurture your child? Well, listen to them, take an interest in what's going on in their lives, help them solve problems, and spend time with them. Those things are not abuse. And also, you can hug your child. That is not abuse either. Hugging your child is one way to nurture your child. So how can you effectively discipline your child without spanking or abuse? You can praise them and reward them for good behavior. Taking things away such as video game console or something they like for bad behavior. But please make sure you explain why you're doing such an action so that they understand why they are in trouble, so to speak, and don't stretch it out for weeks or months, but rather 2 or 3 days. One key thing to remember, overindulging children by giving them too many rewards without expecting good behavior can leave them feeling vulnerable to manipulation and addictions because they aren't empowered to earn their own rewards, so they seek them out from others. One important thing to remember is this: children aren't perfect, and neither is the parent. We all make mistakes, so don't go into the praise and reward system expecting them to be 100% perfect, because they aren't capable of being perfect. No one is. Expecting perfect behavior but never rewarding your child will leave them feeling deprived, again making them vulnerable to people who only seek to provide a small sense of pleasure to your child. Please don't use harsh punishment on your child. There is a lot of overlap between physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. If victims consistently report that emotional abuse is the most unbearable form, making them vulnerable to drug use to manage emotional pain. Make sure to set clear boundaries consistently and reward systems fairly to help your child's behavior. If for some reason these don't work, please reach out and get professional help for your child. One last thing to mention here is tapping into parental resources. There are a lot of resources out there for parents these days, such as parent aides who could come to your home to help you with your child and how to set up good boundaries and give you tips for reward systems. There are parenting books, parenting groups, and professional help as an absolute last resort. Make use of the resources mentioned if you ever feel you need them. Having an arsenal of tools on hand will prevent any child abuse and help aid in the healthy growth and development of your child. I hope this has helped you or could help someone you know. As always, I thank you all for your love and support. I love you guys so much. I will talk to you later. Bye.